I'd come here to kill God-woken. But instead, I became part of their story.
Hey everybody, welcome to a Let's Play for Divinity Original Sin 2. I actually just finished the first game about a week ago. This is not a blind Let's Play though, because I have had a co-op campaign with a friend of mine. We haven't finished yet, but we're pretty far into it already for this game. But on that one we did difficulty setting of normal, I think, or whatever the default is. This time around though, on this playthrough I'm going to go through on Tactician. I did the first one on Tactician. I don't want to sound boastful, but I thought it was kind of easy. But I was pretty experienced with the game. I don't think that'll be the case on this one. The nature of how they've set up combat in this, I think, will make it much harder. So we'll see if I don't get my ass beat. But we'll see here. Also, I'm going to take different characters. We both created our own character in that one. So I'm going to take different characters, and I don't feel like in that co-op playthrough I had a really good grasp on what was going on, just because we're both talking to people, kind of stuff like that, and I think I missed some stuff. So this time, hopefully, I get a better idea and grasp on the whole overall story. So I'm looking forward to it. So I don't know everything by far. There's still going to be surprises. There were some quests we didn't accomplish or couldn't that I'm going to make sure I can do in this one. So I'm also going to try to roleplay a little bit, just kind of a light roleplay, I guess. What I don't want is, because I've seen other people do a roleplay, not on this game, but others, and they basically refuse to do quests because their character wouldn't do it. I don't want to get into that because I feel like I'm going to miss out on game content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use kind of the backstory I created for David here to basically inform on his decisions during quests, but it's not going to dictate. I'm not going to do that at all, or kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's been my first time doing it, so it might be kind of lame. We'll try. But so for David's backstory. Basically, he was orphan and homeless. He was used and abused his entire life. He really doesn't trust anyone, just because everyone kind of screwed him over his whole life. And ultimately, he ended up being kidnapped, tortured, and resurrected by a necromancer. So he's going to be an undead. So he has really deep-seated anger, and he has a hatred of those who prey on the weak. But at the same time, he also really despises the weak for not standing up for themselves and getting out of their situation. So he'll help people, but he's not really going to be empathetic towards them at all. He's mainly helping them for his ends, not theirs. But with that being said, he's not like an insane, complete sociopath. He's not going to go around murdering people. He's got a goal in mind, and the ends justify the means kind of thing. But yeah, he's not like a psycho. And so for his character, I'm going to go, and this one, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to do kind of a blended character. So he's going to use sword and shield, water magic, and also polymorph. So hopefully that doesn't just make him super weak, but we'll see. I envision kind of a paladin-like character, and that'll be a unique twist with him being an undead, because he can't heal himself with magic anyways. Also in my co-op playthrough, we didn't use an undead, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do that. But I didn't want to take Fane, because I feel like a lot of people probably took Fane, because the name's cool and the character seems kind of cool. So this way, hopefully there's a character you haven't seen that we'll do in a playthrough. So I'm also going to be taking, I'm going to mess up these names, I think, but Sybil. For her, I'm going to go Air and Witchcraft. Ifrin, and I'm going to make him a ranger, and he's also going to use summon magic. And the Red Prince, which is probably also taken a lot in other Let's Plays, but I haven't seen his stuff. So, and he's going to be doing kind of fire and earth magic. And I'm sure that'll change a little bit as we go. You can respec at any time, so... I mean, I'm not going to do whole-on respecs, I don't think, but if something's just not working, we'll have to kind of reconfigure it a little bit. And I may add a third school into some of these guys going forward, but we'll kind of see how it plays out. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Originally, I had already done this once where I recorded the intro, and I got into character creation because I was going to make two characters, David and Chloe. And then I found out when you do a solo campaign, you only get to create one, so... And there's ways around it, but I didn't feel like dealing with it. So that's fine. I'll just take these three characters. In our co-op one, we took Los and Beast. So I haven't seen any of these guys' stuff. So that'll be good. All right, let's start off. Let's get into this. Single player, it's going to be Tactician mode. So, the foes we will meet will be cunning and relentless. They'll bombard you with nasty tricks and surprises that the Explorer and Classic modes don't feature. Not for the faint of heart. So, we shall see. Okay, from here we're going to move into character creation. So, I'm going to cut the video right here and we'll come back in and I'll kind of explain what I did. And then I'm also going to record the origin stories of all the characters I'm going to take. And then as we meet them, I'll kind of clip those into the video. So we kind of get an idea where they're coming from. All right, let me create this real quick and I will see you guys in just a second. Hello guys, welcome back. All right, so here we have Davith. I started with the fighter preset, but it didn't really matter. So we're going with an undead human. Undead are an abhorred race in Rivellon. Considered abominations of the natural order, those who wish to walk among the living must mask themselves or risk provoking violence. So we'll start with play dead, fooling enemies into thinking you're dead. Cooldown of skills will be paused. Any action you take will cancel this status. It'll be interesting. And then our source skill eventually will be done with protection. I'm going to take Battle Stomp, Bouncing Shield. So Battle Stomp, smash a weapon into the ground, hitting them for 15 to 17 physical damage. It clears non-cursed surfaces and clouds. Bouncing Shield gives me a little bit of a range skill. It'll hit multiple targets. And then I took Restoration as well for the Hydra Fist. Let's see. We've got 1 Strength, 1 Intelligence, 1 Constitution. 1 in Warfare, 1 in Hydra Fist, and then I put 1 in Persuasion. You know what? I'm going to change that. We're actually going to go into Thievery. That kind of fits us. I am going to pickpocket people. So we're not, probably won't be very persuasive. Unless I want to pass that on to somebody else. It could fit. It fits him the best. We'll go with that. I'm used to failing persuasion anyways. Well, we may put some points in there. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. I went with Comeback Kid, so we get knocked out once per combat. If they kill us, we I think it's a chance. I don't think it's every time, but you will bounce back to life with 20% health. If we die and then get resurrected, it'll get resets. I took Outlaw because that made sense, but I also took Scholar because there were some quests I couldn't do in my co-op playthrough that required that. None of us had it, so I took that. But back alleys and rooftops know well the tread of your boot. You've got friends in low places and enemies to match. And Scholar, intelligent and curious. Your appetite for learning far exceeds your taste for bloodshed. Books and scrolls are your dearest possession. That doesn't really fit too well, but I don't know if any of the ones we took are going to have it, so. And then I went with the Ode. I don't even know how to say that. Alright, that should be it. Let's start the game. So beware, playing as an undead poses unique risks and benefits. Undead must veil their true selves from the living or risk being attacked. Healing potions and spells will damage you while poisoned heals. Undead can pick locks with a bony finger alone. And can survive the Scourge of Death Fog. Okay, that makes sense too for Thievery, so. And I guess Death Fog doesn't hurt us. I didn't know that. And then I'm going to try to make most of these episodes around 35-40 minutes. I've been notoriously bad at doing that, though, so we'll see. This first episode, of course, will be longer, just because it's the first entry.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
Alright, we are on a ship.
What the dog dug up. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages. Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plague. Heh? Look, laugh, but don't touch. Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
Alright, so apparently those who imprisoned us don't even know we're undead. Okay, I'll accept that. And I guess that was the Grinning Skull was talking to us. See if it'll talk a little more.
Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea.
Alright, let's see what we got here. One resurrection scroll, backpack. Poison for healing and frogs from grenade. No weapons. I don't know what that's gonna do. Like, I think that's just for us. Technically, we're wearing a helmet. But see, I don't really like having the helmets visible.
I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Let's see what we got here. We have too long presumed source as a virtuous part of civil society, yet we need look no further into the past than the Source King's reign to understand the havocs such magics may wreak. One day another order must follow in the Source Hunter's footsteps. Sorcerers must be muted. The new model of source collars provided by Vredeman is proving most effective. And yeah, that basically makes it so we can't use our source powers. Alright, let's find out what's going on around here.
Up there. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash.
Yes, I'm not too happy about being collared. Don't think.
In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Right, look around warily and wonder what damnable dungeon we ended up in this time.
Dungeon? You have the gall to call my laboratory a dungeon? Oh, I'd be quite annoyed with you, if you didn't look so honestly perplexed.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
Alright, I demand to know why you've collared me.
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Source spells of yours? See what happens.
Alright, let's try to unleash some source powers on her.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. All will, but no result. There you have it, see? The collar's function. It neuters you, of sorts. Makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Yes, I bet. Alright, let's see what we got in the log. Alright.
Oh, everything's spick nothing left to do, really.
Stop talking. This game isn't as bad as the first one with them being super loud talking, but... Okay, Lucian the Divine, champion of the seven gods and savior of Rivellon, is dead. He sacrificed himself to defeat the forces of the Void, leaving his son, Alexander, to preside over the next chapter of Rivellon's history. But Lucian's sacrifice did not buy peace. Instead, the years that followed were plagued by the menace of Voidwoken. These beasts were drawn to source magic and left death and destruction in their wake. Incapable of wielding the divine powers that his father had at his disposal, Alexander has resorted to harsher measures in order to stop the Voidwoken. A great pogrom has commenced against sorcerers. I don't actually know what that means. Guessing it means like a crusade. Has commenced against sorcerers, those who show the most skill in the manipulation of source. Encouraged by his most trusted advisor, Dallas, Alexander has decreed that all sorcerers must be resettled in isolated colonies where they cannot pose a threat to the rest of Rivellon. One such colony is the ancient island stronghold of Fort Joy. It is to this place that I, a captive sorcerer, am being sent. Okay, our sorcerer is being transported to Fort Joy, an ancient fortress on a remote island where magistrates of the Divine Order have established an internment camp. We may have been told to look for Magister William at the stern of the ship. We have been told to look for Magister William at the stern of the ship in order to be registered. Perhaps we can explore a little before we go to him. We'll try. I am bound by a magical collar that cannot be removed. My source collar blocks my ability to use powerful source magic. The Magisters believe this will prevent me from posing a danger to others. Guess we think otherwise. What can we search? Pretty much everything. A grotesque jar. What the hell is that for? Doesn't sell, and I can't combine it with anything. We'll probably get rid of that later. Only got one way to go. I kind of want to read that. I don't want to. I like how they've done pickpocketing in the game. But it is. I probably will get caught multiple times, so we'll have to see how that goes. No, but I'm not going to do anything now because there's nowhere to run. Magister Merrill.
A young Magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
Alright, so she's a little freaked out by us, apparently. I'm wondering why they're letting me keep this Molotov cocktail. It's strange. I guess they were afraid to touch us, though, because we're all bandaged up.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
Can you tell me what happened here?
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Does this kind of thing happen often?
You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man.
Well, I mean, it just stops magic. Do anything else we want, I guess.
Small ones this time, thank the gods. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
See if we can help.
Nothing to see here.
Oh. Can I not go inside? Yes, there's a broken source collar. Oh, wait. So it looks like that would have to be magic that did that. That's maybe.
Ugly sight, isn't it?
Yes.
Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwoken followed the source that did this.
Yeah, well, you weren't really his protector. You were more of his captor.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Well, you happen to looking into the rest of the Magisters as well? One of them could have easily done this.
Finn was killed by Source. If a Magister could do that, there wouldn't be a Magister.
Yeah, good point.
It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. And the rest, well, you see the evidence in front of you. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you.
Yeah, I don't think we're too inclined to help the Magisters. Though it could be in our own best interest because someone is killing. Well, just one person dead. That doesn't mean they're killing sorcerers. I'm gonna laugh. And you really think I'd help a Magister, someone who's been keeping me under lock and key?
Think about it. It's one of you who got killed, not one of us. We want to find who did it and bring them to justice.
I think I want to find who did it and find out how they got out of their collar.
Who's your real enemy here? You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
No doubt, I agree there.
No lesions, no trauma.
So, a fellow sorcerer has been discovered murdered. We've been told we'll receive a gold piece as a reward if we bring back evidence to Magister Waters regarding who did it.
Oh, where did I leave my calipers?
Let's check out in here. I don't want to go up on deck yet. I don't think. So as far as crafting goes, well, we just found 2 gold pieces. So all she's going to do is give us 1. I just found 2 in a bucket. Come on. But as far as crafting goes, I'm going to do it. I probably won't do a lot with food. I never really have. But I guess that might be something that some people enjoy. Take this bedroll. That's handy. So you can pretty much use a bedroll to just save, to heal yourself instantly. Kind of glad they included that.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Gives us, you know what? That's some armor. Let's take that.
Why won't you say?
I'll wear a bucket on my head.
Be good, you scallywags.
We do lose 1 initiative for it, but we get 3 physical armor. So hey, there's that. Got a bunch of kids and Losi.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer. I'm better though. Listen. La 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 la.
Yeah, you suck.
I'll give you that number.
I'm here because I'm magic. Are you here because you're weird?
Yeah.
You look like my daddy. His name is Frida. He's waiting for me at home.
Is he a skeleton? Cause.
Mad?
What's up, Losi?
Ah, there you are. Husband.
Mm-hmm.
Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Yeah, we have no interest in helping her out, so you must have me confused with somebody else.
Why, I never. I left my good pals at home, or I'd be clutching them with all my daintiest, most ladylike might. Say as you will, husband. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb won't be treated so.
The children break out into giggles.
What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm more concerned with survival than entertainment here.
Guess you aren't a creative type, are you, Chief? I say they're one and the same.
Alright, well, while we're talking, do you happen to know anything about that murder that happened?
Nope. Trying not to find anything out, either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Alright, well, have fun with these kids, Los.
Her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Yeah, good luck with that whole possession thing you got going on. Anything going on in here? Magister Victor.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your sub-story somewhere else.
Know the first thing about swords.
Ethan. Okay, he's one of the ones we're gonna take. Ethan Ben Mezd. Hope he says his name for me.
Lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Well, now you want to talk to me.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
Alright, like I said, we have trust issues. We're going to move closer, but defensively.
He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
I don't have any skin.
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
Why do these guys think you did it?
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
Okay, well, did you kill him? Did you do the murder?
No.
Fair enough.
The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough.
Hey, do you know anything about Fort Joy, since he used to be in charge?
The Joy? I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind meeting Alexander. I think I could show him what I think of the Divine Order.
Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You? What's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
Yeah, I don't have any reason not to tell my name.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall. Ifan raises his eyebrows, but shakes his head at you.
Okay, so Victor here is keeping us from talking. That's locked. We're not going to be able to break in because guy's watching. Who else we got? Beast. Gil, who I could have said was my name. That would have been messed up.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
What am I supposed to hear?
The ship, of course.
Alright, let's take a listen.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
He sounds angry, like he's trying to capsize the ship.
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger, it's...
Everything's anger to me.
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
Anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close.
Okay, let's listen a little closer.
There now, just like that.
Apparently we heard a long squeak.
Aha! His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Yeah, I heard it. What's it supposed to be?
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for... Yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Okay, why are you excited about going to Fort Joy of all places?
No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
Alright, we're done with him.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the
Red
Majesty's
Prince.
more concerned than your...
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
We're going to slap his hand away hard.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Sure, but we can't really taste anything.
And of course, a cook who can't taste is about as useful as a dog in a chess game. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
I've had enough of this. You can stuff your questions.
Goodness gracious me, what a bore. Off with you. Quite clearly, you wouldn't have done at all. Shoo.
F you, Red Prince. We'll meet again. Let's talk to Namiya.
That right. I always knew you, Gemma.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
Yeah, first world problems, huh? Fane, a fellow undead.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hewitt's
maybe I
famous
wasn't supposed to know that.
encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and examines your bandages, rubbing them between his fingers.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Yeah, what the hell do you think you're doing?
I am reading. Is this not evident? My book is in my hands, my face turned away from you. Perhaps my eyes not on the page. Damnable things.
He grabs a metal plate and watches his reflection with one eye as the other shifts left to right and up to down. He repeats the maneuver with the opposite eye.
No, they are working quite adequately. It seems you are at fault. Predictable, really.
No, I want to know why you thought you could touch me like that.
Oh? Oh, I see. I crossed a cultural taboo. How difficult. You have my sincere apologies. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once.
Yeah, I don't know that you quite understand what's going on around here.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Understanding is all rather relative. Take this book, for example. I understand all of it, and yet none of it makes sense. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Okay. We will explain that Cranley Hubert's work is generally seen as the authority, but you can recommend some histories of each race.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
If you want legends, you shouldn't be reading a history book.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Okay, well, why do you want to know so much about the gods?
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
Alright, Magister paid.
It's a register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
Do you actually care?
Of course I do. Seems Voidwalk can dog your heels like a shadow. That's no way to live, is it? You'll see. We're gonna help you. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Never thought you'd end up a
Keep
prison
those
guard.
bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
That's the woman we saw at the
Murder
beginning.
was foul, and I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Okay, let's see what's going on.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad.
You just threatened me.
You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
What do you mean by there are others whose lives must end?
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Uh-oh.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
We don't have a weapon. We didn't need one.
What's happened?
A hell of a spell. Troubled waters. Where are we at here? A fellow sorcerer named Wendigo confessed to the killing. She also implied that we share something in common with her target. Before we could learn more, she somehow triggered a huge explosion. We have to get out of here. It might be wise to find weapons in case there's more dangers ahead. Indeed. Confiscated goods. That seems about right. A makeshift shield, knife on a stick, staff, and a pitchfork. None of those things are something I want to use, except the shield. But I can't equip anything else. One-handed... Oh. Knife on a stick is a one-handed sword. Okay. That works. We got a couple recipes, I believe. Don't remember how to open up the recipe book. Not that it matters. Do the magicians have anything useful on them? I'll take a stained shirt. Oh, quite fetching. We don't need lockpicks anymore. Let's see if we're good enough. Speed. Lock level 5. Wow. Yeah, we're not getting in there. A bottle of wine. Right now we could use some money. Alright, let's head out back into the cabin. Or the main deck area. Let's see what we can see. Requisitions. Go in my bag. Requisition for the sorcerer. Hold. Just a bunch of... Okay, it's gonna need that. The same thing. A few of them are in good spirits, especially the children. The others are sullen. Don't blame them. Change is rough. But they'll make new friends sooner or later, and when we cure them for good, they'll be thanking us, not cursing. Well, most of them. That elf with the dice, that lone wolf, the creaky-voiced woman in the kitchen. Some folks won't get over it. Reckon they won't be first to get cured, if they're ever cured at all. They do think they're doing it for the greater good. Some of them probably enjoy holding power over people who are helpless. See if that was the right key. No. Well, she really just decimated everyone that wasn't a sorcerer, pretty much. Beast is unconscious. The Red Prince, who it's...
Oh! What? What happened? Must have been the turnings.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna slap him in the face.
You dare strike a royal? Ooh.
The lizard's eyes close as he slips.
Nope, he's out. She's dead. You have a key for me, Victor? No, stained shirts.
Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, you can see green eyes fluttering as if in a nightmare. A low whine escapes his lips.
Yeah, let's give him a shake.
His eyes flicker open, but he doesn't register your presence at all.
Lucien. Lucien.
Ifan cries out, then his eyes fall closed again. No matter how much you shake him now, he cannot be roused.
Right, we're not going to be able to wake anyone up. There's Sybil. I guess I missed her. Oh well. We'll probably be able to talk to her later. Edged Waters is done for. Pack of flesh. We'll leave that. Actually, you know what? We'll take it. We'll take it. Sybil isn't. Elven. Okay, elves can eat limbs and experience memories of the person to whom the limb belonged. Sybil is elf, so. Do we want to go up these stairs? I'm not sure.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to
Yeah. We can go back this way. So with a shield, we get a skill called Shields Up, so we can restore physical armor and magic armor just by using it. Doesn't look like it has a cooldown. It's got to have a 3-turn cooldown. Okay. So that's really good for, like, because Dav is kind of going to be our tank here, which is possible. We've made it to the middle deck. The ship is badly damaged, possibly even sinking. We have to keep moving. All right. Source Hound in there. What do we got in here?
God damn it! Need to get off this wreck, and quick!
Couple Magisters.
That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards!
Block still. Yeah, let's check out this where the Source Hound is. I am going to take Pet Pals. I don't have it right now, so... And I may put it on somebody else. Right now we can't talk to animals. I don't find it as useful as it was in the first game, but let's see. Lock level 0. All right, we can get in there. With our fingers. Unlocked using your bony fingers. Okay, we got some pants. Put on. All about wearing pants. Gives us a little more physical armor.
Thank the gods. By divine grace, who was that howling?
The dog?
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
Hey, if you take this thing off, maybe I can help a little bit.
Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy banshee comes screaming through, and now we got void bugs swarming up top. Saw it coming, I did. Sorcerer mutiny.
Do you know anything more about this woman? Is she really just a sorcerer?
Curdled my blood when she appeared. Ship shook like a typhoon had struck, and then she was gone again. Look around. You see how that story ends. Nothing but Source can do this.
Yeah, obviously we're upset that we've been imprisoned. Like I said, we've been in prison before. We didn't like it. So yeah, this weakling should pose no threat.
Then the mutiny ends here.
Get a chance to get a little revenge. Let's get a little closer. And let's try out this bouncing shield. So when my buddy was in our co-op campaign, my buddy did the warfare thing, but he had a two-handed weapon, so some of this stuff will be a little new. Can bounce. Doesn't always have to. Got it. Do that too. Eventually. Alright, still got a little physical armor left. Let's finish him. And we can go and shield up ourselves. And let's let him bring it. Alright, he's got 20 magic armor. This is going to do 4 to 5 damage. Okay. See if we can knock this magic armor off. He does a little more damage than I do. And our restoration skill is not going to help us. We've got 16 left. Okay, we can get rid of his magic armor, or his physical armor, hopefully. That's it. Battle Stomp. Put your ass on the ground. And we'll save our point here. His turn was wasted. That takes 2 points. 8 health. There, we got him. Done, son. Alright, this is our bedroll. Alright. We get any better weapons off of him? Or a better shield? Alright, a little bit of gold. Take it. A letter. Good thing that Sourcehound didn't seem to care. A shabby letter. Whatever that means. Okay, cool. The bound. Oh, it's a book. Alright. My sweet Stefan. As I write this letter, we near the Isle. By the time the owl delivers it. The owl, huh? I will be but a day away. I have heeded Alexander's orders, just as you said I should, but I think of Lucian often. Would the divine have condoned this? Would he have blessed us as we ripped children from their mothers? Can this be the only way? I feel cold, inside and out. Of one thing I am certain, your arms will warm me when I find you again. With love, Rix. Well, Rix isn't coming back. Set of instructions for transporting sorcerers to a place called the Joy, but someone has inked an angry black line from top left to the bottom right. Sorcerer monarchs once performed great deeds across the land, and in his first days, Brachus did so from the isle he called home. But in time, as is true of so many things, he became increasingly corrupted by Source. So great was his greed and his fear that crafted a soul forge with his twin, Cassandra. Once the ritual was complete, Brachus turned her into an undead lich, so that she, and thus he, might live forever. Portrait of Evil, Volume 3. I'll probably keep the books. You never know. I should get in the habit of that. We can pick that lock. There's no reason. We can't really get anything good out of here. So let's keep moving. What about the bust of Alexander? Can I do anything with it?
Bishop Alexander, if Lucian were alive, what would he think of his son's divine order?
Alright, so the dog's not important, apparently. We could attack it, but again, not sociopaths.
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters.
Alright, we'll take my first bow. I'm in handy. So I'm thinking as an undead, we should be inherently weak to fire, right? So no, we're not. But we do have strength to poison. Okay. I would have thought we'd be weak to fire, but maybe that's not... I don't know if that's a thing in the game. I thought it was.
Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull!
Well, we've got looting to do. Davith, so calm down. I'm not going to take any more of those. Magister Siri. So if that old lady's plan was to murder us, I mean, she did a good job of killing everyone else. She didn't really do anything to us, but you need the sorcerers, but knock them out, really. Skull marked door. We should be able to lockpick that. I don't know to what end. That goes up. There's Fane. Is he awake? Fane's awake. Let's go talk to him. I'll take a little fire damage. We'll be alright. How did you not get knocked out?
Through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
No, no, no! What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid! No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
Oh, yeah, I noticed there's something familiar about the way he's holding that book.
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read the bloody book he's holding.
Ship sinking, my friend.
Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to.
Yeah, I'm gonna realize that that's the elf we talked to earlier.
Please, I was no more an elf than you are those rags you're wearing. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands.
Yeah, that seems sensible to me.
Indeed. Just as sensible as getting off a sinking ship and leaving a fellow to his business. I would say good day, but it seems quite likely that you're about to die a rather terrible death, so...
The skeleton shrugs casually and returns to his book.
It's a little annoying that Fane doesn't recognize, or our character doesn't recognize that we're both undead, but whatever. It is what it is. Lockpick that. Hopefully we don't break a finger.
Something's breaking through. What in the hell's an ocean?
Oh. Death fog, which we can actually go into, so that's cool. This will be a little different. I don't think I actually came in here before.
Good thing I'm immune. Still, this means trouble.
And for one, why were they carrying it? One thing I want to check, if I eat something, does it hurt me? It does. Okay, that makes sense. Just wanted to make sure. It's really just poison. Alright, doesn't really look like there's anything else for us to get here. Not a lot in there. We can head up the stairs here, I think. Well, that's handy. Vicious voidlings. Hit that one and see if it's more likely to bounce. Okay, that one bounced. We can let him get a little closer, I think. A lot closer. Your ass on the ground. I should have taken a spell first off instead of healing. Didn't really help us that much. Ooh, sick move. Gotcha. Need to kill him with his hits. Nice. And we need to go waddle around in some poison. Actually, no, we don't. Not anymore. So that would have been my better move, was to be to move. Whoa, whoa. Okay, huge ass tentacle. Would have been to move into the poison during that fight. I need to think about stuff like that. So I get poisoned with defensive stuff up, which is a good thing. Like, I don't need my magic armor to be gone in order to get poisoned, so kind of glad that's a thing. We're not steering this thing. I mean, that's probably... we could probably get through there. Well, it's going to be a lot of damage. We'll see. Not an awful amount of damage. Okay. Wand. And some muddy mittens. I will take those. We are getting more badass all the time. Appears we've been attacked by a kraken.
That means there's still a chance.
You do it.
Oh.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Yeah. I mean, if other people can get off the ship, like I said, we're not psychos. But we do hate the fact that he's willing to just sacrifice a bunch of people. So you're a yellow-bellied coward. You'll return to the lower deck and check for survivors.
Thank you. There's a ladder right over there.
Plus, maybe we can get a little more revenge. Shut your mouth, Gil. We're going to check the lower deck for survivors. No one deserves to die like this. And I got that key I still want to try. It's a stern key, but I don't know. I didn't find anything it would have unlocked. Key to stern room.
You can walk. Get yourself off the ladder. Wait! Void woken!
Void woken. Knock these two down. And we'll save our points for this guy. Never mind.
I thought Void Woken was supposed to be scary.
I've faced worse.
Oh, these guys are screwed. Void woken.
Let the games begin.
They who are about to triumph salute.
These beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
Nice.
Glory is mine.
Just give him a couple whacks. He should be taken care of.
Breathe the water for me.
Okay.
No telling when there might be more. We need to move.
Yeah, that's good. So we've taken care of all these guys.
Away. The sea's hungry. We don't have much time.
Got looting to do, and I need to find that stern door. Not that greasy door, and it wasn't that one. We already headed up that way. I don't know. Maybe I don't need to find that door. Or I passed it. Got nothing. Huh. Alright, we did our job. What about out here?
I hear something. It's Magister Sewer. You want to put on this damn collar.
Read this.
Sounds like she needs help.
Read this book real quick. The Source King insists there are no magics too foul, even those that would block or even remove the source within an individual. I delight in his madness. It is an invitation to manipulate all which we once believed immutable. He provides all manner of experimental subjects. The text beneath lists a series of hexes and materials required for muting source. Some of these objects are circled in black ink and annotated as follows. Helm, collar, mask, all question marks. Taking that.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound.
Yeah, she's the one that collared us. Yeah. There's nothing to be done.
Bloody
And for
bubbles
herself.
froth from her mouth. She's not long for this world.
One thing we can do is put her out of her misery. We'll quicken your end there. Magister C1. Alright, now we've got a little revenge. Let's get the hell out. Everyone got in the ship but us, huh? That's how that works.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Alright, looks like we were saved by divine intervention, even though we were a skeleton and being in the ocean probably isn't that big of a deal. Drowning anyways isn't. But, you know, fine. A god can make us float. It's cool. We are 90% to our first level up. Alright, looks like we have made it to the beaches of Fort Joy. Let's go through our journal, and then we are going to end this
Those Voidwoken made
episode.
short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? This must be Fort Joy.
Alright, let's see. Chapter 1 is closed out. Something went amiss on the transport ship that carried me to Fort Joy. A sorcerer transportee was found dead, and our magister handlers were on edge. Eventually, the killer was revealed, a sorcerer witch who had seemingly lost her mind. She remarked that I was unique somehow, unique enough to warrant her killing me also. She summoned a huge waterborne Voidwoken that began to attack the ship and kill all on board. I had to take my chances on the open sea. On the verge of drowning, a strange vision came to me, a powerful presence and an oddly familiar voice. It stated that it was not my time to die, for I still had a great task before me. Now I awaken on the shores of Reaper's Eye, with Fort Joy looming ahead. It must have been blind luck that I survived. Surely, why would someone like me benefit from divine intervention? Actually, yeah, I think our guy would kind of think that. After surviving the shipwreck, we have arrived at the island known as Reaper's Eye. Fort Joy looms ahead. We have to escape from this place. As I drowned, okay, I heard a mysterious voice. The voice seemed to save me, but where did it come from, and why am I important to it? You couldn't find a way to remove my collar on the I couldn't find a way to remove my collar on the ship. Maybe someone will be able to help me on the island. Alright guys, now that we have made it to Fort Joy, we're going to end this episode here, but we'll start exploring the island. Hopefully recruit our followers, companions. We're going to get 3 of them. I don't know if I said this earlier. I know I said who I was going to take, but I don't know if I said what they were going to do. But, Ifrin was going to be a ranger/summoner, Sybil was going to do air, magic, and witchcraft, and the Red Prince was going to have you fire and earth. I don't know if I said that earlier, but that's my plan. Okay, guys, we're going to end this one here because we have went on long enough. So hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching. I should be updating this regularly, so hopefully I see you next time. I know you have a choice on where you watch your Divinity Original Sin 2 Let's Plays. I think for choosing One-Eyed Sniper. Peace, guys.